Welcome to Walking in Circles, a podcast about friendship, creativity, and the lifelong journey of becoming.
For more than 15 years, our group has gathered weekly to play, reflect, laugh, and share life. This season, 5 of us are on a creative pilgrimage, working through Julia Cameron's book, Walking in This World.
Each week, we explore what's bubbling up in our art, in our hearts, and our lives, as we rediscover the creative pulse within and around us.
I'm Chris.
I'm Cameron, and we'd like to invite you to listen in and continue the conversation. Walk with us as we keep learning what it means to be alive, awake, and connected. Walking in circles.
Let's begin. Play the thing, yeah? You play the thing?
Oh, you
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, just a little vibe.
No,
Bam.
That's where back.
Yeah, there it is. The one where everyone head's going this way.
Wow.
Let's begin.
Nice.
No one else said anything.
We can tell after.
Till you just did.
It's okay. We can hop into it. Let's see. This week is week 5, discovering a sense of personal territory. Creativity is sensual, so are we. These themes, are they sounding familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Creative energy and sexual energy are both our personal energy. Expect to feel heightened emotions as energy rebounds into your core. Well, there's a lot in here about boundaries. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like reclaiming your energy.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's getting at.
Taking space.
Go on an artist date.
Yeah. Energy debts. That one I think is interesting. Remember the thing about energy debts where she talked about the kinds of relationships where you can't liquidate when you need to liquidate. It's not income. She's talking about investing, and we need to invest in relationships that have some return. Not that it's always equitable in every single moment.
Yeah.
I don't think she's making any of those claims.
Yeah.
But she's saying overall, it shouldn't just be a balance sheet of going out, going out, going out. We were just talking about the bear, and it's that kind of a concept too. It's like it's the same thing as what we experience with our finances, with anything else. And I wonder if you have always thought in terms of that, or if that's more recent. I don't think I thought of my energy, my creativity, my even my time as a resource to be considered. Just kind of did whatever I was supposed to do, or felt like I was supposed to do, or should do. And Brett's already doing eyebrows. I knew we'd get there very quickly.
I'm an alien.
I literally left my last job, last year, as I was preparing to leave it, going, I want to own my creative energy again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I haven't for so many years. And even though I have all these creative things I want to do, but I had no creative energy left in the bank to be able to do them. Or it was so minimal, it was such a feeble attempt, it just felt like, come on, that's not even, it's the whole
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada line. My favorite line is, come on, 6.
Wake up, 6.
Wake up, 6. You're not trying. That kind of thing. It's like, I can't even really try. It's not, you call it an attempt. So what are you saying, eyebrows?
Oh, what am I saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
What are you
interesting to hear
reacting to?
again. We already went through this 2 episodes ago, or whenever it was. That sort of like space taking, never considering that. Like, what'd you say? What was the thing that you said that just like totally freaked out about? Basically,
Thinking
Never
about
thought of my
time.
time as a resource.
never thought about that as a resource or something. You
Growing
just
up,
did what
I
people
don't
would
mean
say
as
or
an
do.
adult, but I mean growing up. It's a slow dawning in my adulthood.
Yeah,
Growing up as a kid, never thought about that.
yeah. I mean, that seems believable, and also it seems like I would believe it's common. But for me, I just don't.
Glad you believe me.
I know. I think it's believable. It's very believable. Having seen your life. No, I'm just kidding.
It's true.
I guess I've tried to understand exactly where I can't believe a person could be completely unaware.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like that you are. Okay, here's the thing. For me, again, I always would feel like I can tell that this is going against something inside of me. And that's fine, because sometimes you do something that's against the flow for a little bit, and that's necessary, give and take, whatever. But for me, I always have the sense of equilibrium, and I'm a person who does really
Mm-hmm.
likes equilibrium. Even if the external circumstances are tumultuous, I try to find a balancing thing inside of me to make it sort of come to equilibrium. And I just have this intuition about that is not a that's not long-term sustainable. The result of that would be the depletion of me, or the make me become bitter, and I don't want to do that. So I that's just how I always see the world. Steph's the same way. We see everything to a fault in terms of what would the result of this be as a long-term pattern of behavior of interacting with it. And that's very natural to me, and I've always thought about it that way. So I tend to draw a line way earlier than I need to.
Yeah.
The first time.
In case you want to keep some reserves.
No, just on principle, this is the pattern of behavior I have to have. Even though in this case.
Started early.
Instantly. And I always get the feeling too, I'm just setting the stage for how the rest of this is going to go. So
Right.
you're always treating somebody. I never realized it, but I always you're always training people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that is my default. My modus operandi is just to do what makes sense for me, and then what can I do with other people that meshes, but you can't cancel one of those out and have it work in the long term. So I don't know.
I think I had some intuition that things weren't sustainable, but I didn't have the vocabulary. Once I came to that vocabulary, I think it probably was when I was in my master's program. I don't know if that's something you talk about, self-care, if that's a big theme still in your counseling master's program or where your work is, but that I had some sense of it. I knew that if I was exhausted or overextended, I couldn't give my best. And I always want to give my best.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the sense of the terms of sustainability. What can I do over time? Longevity, all of these things were not in my brain at all. And a counter message was, even though if they were in my intuition, they weren't in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
And a counter message was in the air, at least around me, which was anything you do for yourself is selfish, and that is not appropriate in our the context of our faith and and our culture and all the things. Yeah. But
it's inconvenient for people who want stuff from you too.
Yeah, it is. It is. She talks about that fairly often. I think about people want you to do what's convenient for them.
Yeah.
Please don't inconvenience us or make us uncomfortable. But as soon as that was a part of my vocabulary, it became infinitely easier. And I could advocate for myself and for others in that way, because I could say, I can't sustain this. I want to be able to sustain this relationship, this job, this whatever the thing is that's of value to me, and it's not sustainable for me. So
something's got to give, and you can't give anymore. So
right. Yeah. The problem is, if you've trained people how to treat you and you've trained them to use you as a doormat, then when you tell them, I can't do what you want me to do all the time without endlessly, my resources are not infinite. I cannot be infinite to you. They just think you're an asshole.
Yeah. They almost feel, and it's not true, but there's almost a sense of injustice.
Yeah.
You've tricked me.
Why are you being mean to me?
You're suddenly double facing this because you've taught me this whole time that you can.
Yes.
And now you're tricking me.
That's right. And that's been a big part of my ownership is my piece in this is not only letting people abuse me, but teaching people to use me and to participate in that relationship in that way.
Yeah, for anybody out there who has that, I want you to hear this. Even if you've been complicit in that in the past, you are not obligated in any way to continue that behavior, and you are not in any way obligated to the people who think that you're obligated.
Yeah.
Even though they think it's tricky or you've tricked them.
Or that you're an
that's
asshole.
bullshit. You can absolutely make better decisions today than you made yesterday, and if they don't like it, they weren't ever going to like it.
Sounds like you have an experience with this, Brett.
I'm watching people. I was always basically setting. People don't understand why I come hard on the very first conversation. Why are you coming so hard on this? Because this is the only time we're going to talk about this shit. Because we're not doing this for a year and then we're having this talk. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not prescribing that as the way to go. Honestly, if you don't build context, they'll have no idea what you're talking about or what you're trying to preempt and blah 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 all those things. But
the middle way
Yeah.
is the way for almost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also the hardest way. It's so easy to get pulled left or right.
Yep.
Every day, I find that I am so unlike Brett. Like, I could not be more different.
Yeah.
I do. And also, I'm actually more and more like you all the time. These are things I'm practicing all the time.
Yeah.
I'm learning and growing. I think probably we're growing towards each other in some of those ways.
Mm-hmm.
More of a balance. And that's why we're here. That's the whole thing about community, right?
Adam, what do you mean?
Like, I guess I relate more to Chris's, which is like, I am more of I'm okay being the doormat. That's my service to the world, you know, like, and then, I don't have like you're talking about having that hard conversation first that never even comes to mind until 2-3 years later.
So
and
you
I'm like,
need it.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is actually
Has to.
kind of a thing now, like a problem. And maybe I'll address it or maybe I won't, because I'm just used to it at that point, you know?
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
I've never seen you be a doormat, but I think we generally treat each other pretty well in this group, and so I don't get to actually see many of my friends in this context, like how they would react to adversity. So I need to start treating you more like a doormat, and then I can really know
Yeah.
you for real.
That's true.
Oh, it's fun.
And then
Oh,
I'll be
you
the
are
person,
a doormat.
Yeah,
You are a little bit.
I'll be the
Just
person
kidding.
that's like,
Just kidding.
you're changing up on me. You're an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you said in that podcast, I have it on video, that you're a doormat. What are you doing?
You should do what I say. So I wonder, Adam, if you see it for other people before you see it for yourself, would you coach
know.
Hunter not to be a doormat? Would you see it when it's happening for her or
I don't know if I
Josh
see it.
or?
I think it's just like, I don't know, assume everyone should be of service to others. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I have to say, like, I think that too, but I just don't think you're of service to somebody by being in an unequitable relationship with them.
Yeah.
You serve
I think-
people by collaborating with them, not like serving them, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. And I agree with that in like spirit, but also like in practice, I'm like, if it
Yeah.
doesn't play out that way, then that's just called being an extra servant, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you're doing the best.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a sacrificial thing.
Right.
Almost feel like, is that right?
That-
Is that sort of the
That
feel?
was yeah, it definitely. And that was the part of this chapter that I kind of honed in on, was she was talking about the artists. Again, that word I don't necessarily relate to, but we all are a little bit artists. But anyway, she said artists are they're not selfish enough. They need to be more selfish. And I related to that.
Yeah. And in that, I know she's doing a lot of play on words because she's a writer, but you need the self to be, that's a part of all those things. To give of yourself, to write of yourself. Like the self is a core part. You don't have anything to give if you don't have a self, if it's not coming from a self.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm already forgetting. I was just going to ask you something about that, Adam. But back to this little play on words. It was thought-provoking to me, that little idea of, so we have the concept of those relationships that are, balanced and that give and receive. There's two ways. It's flowing both ways. There's a return on the investment. I know we all have relationships where you invest and you actually, it's exponential. It's not even the sum of its parts. Within the relationship, it's so life-giving that you come away and you're enriched and you're challenged, and there are all these things that you're thinking that are developed, and you're there are many good things happening. But this idea beyond just that, this idea of non-liquid capital. And so I've been thinking about this. I had heard this financial expert, a little clip. He was talking about how, in his opinion, home ownership is not investment, and we don't do ourselves a disservice to think of home ownership as an investment. He's saying, of course, realty can be, if you own various properties, et cetera, that can be, but owning your own home is not really a wealth builder because you're in it. It's not liquid until you get ready to sell or die. It's just actually cost to you. Even if you've paid it off, you're still paying taxes. You're still maintaining it. You're still doing all these sort of things. It's not liquid enough. And if you need it right away, you can't usually get it right away for what its value actually
It's been my experience.
Yes. Maybe that's why it resonates so much right now. But I think about that too. Even people, sometimes I think we see a relationship, or it may be familial, it may be a work relationship, and we think there's value here. I'm investing in something, but just this concept that it might not be liquid enough to be in the mix, in the balance for this season or this moment of life. What do you think about that?
My thought goes immediately again with like that service mindset is like I guess I never think of relationships in an investment point of view. Like it's never like, is this liquid or is it not? Am I investing for it's just, it is what it is. And if it's like, I don't know, if it's just someone that I have to interact with a lot, then even if it's a negative, if it's a debt relationship, then that's just how it is.
But you're not a corpse. So there's some degree, some sort of balancing osmotic action in your life with energy, right, Adam?
Yes,
You're
I
not
would say,
getting
like,
like. Go ahead.
with relationships that I
evidence.
feel like are more debt. What is a word I want to use here?
Detrimental.
Like, yeah, it pulls more, uses more energy. Then I guess I still keep them around, but I'm not thinking like, you know, oh, I'm investing, so this is now better later, or like, I don't know. I just maybe like limit my interaction with that relationship so it's less, but still like, I don't know. I guess I'm not thinking in like investing in relationships, so it's giving later, or thinking of, is it liquid now? I just interact with the people that I do. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's a new framing for me too. I haven't thought about it in those terms. I'm trying to even think of like I'm trying to think of like an example of what you're saying.
I don't know. I guess I'm not saying, I'm just saying I'm noticing that. That concept seems interesting to me. And I'm questioning it. I'm not sure what it means, but maybe it's like there are times when they aren't liquid right away. You're investing in this newborn
Yeah.
who now
I feel
she's
that.
giggling sometimes, but she might be screaming and you might be waking you up and might be changing her diaper more and like,
Yeah.
and so there is sort of an investment there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But then there's some people where you're investing in and it's maybe not liquid right away. But actually with babies it kind of is, because then they give you that thing and it's like such a hit
it isn't.
with a smile.
What they give
If you
versus
can-
what they take is not even close to
Right.
It's like this, and then they get like a little bit more like this.
Yeah.
At some point, I trust that they'll pass the threshold of.
Yes, I think so.
But
Pass the threshold and then
So
I'll
that
love
might
you.
be.
yeah, I love you already, but I won't see you as a black hole energy.
So you're 25 and moved out.
Well, I mean, sometimes I would say when you build friendships, there's probably more like relevant examples, but the one comes to mind is like whenever I've moved, I started to build friendships with people, and I honestly don't. I'm not trying to frame this as a transaction, but like you're spending about a year building a relationship with somebody. I think, at least for me, before I feel like we're genuinely friends, like whether they actually know me and see me well, and we can just do the things like Julie talked about, just like have fun together and just be at ease, and it's sort of like what'd you say, like a synergistic interaction.
Yeah.
But for that year, you're kind of investing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not liquid. Obviously, you haven't built that up yet.
Any new relationship, maybe.
Yeah.
If it's with a hopefully significant other at the start of that, we're all kind of on eggshells. There's a lot of extra energy going into presenting certain things and not other things, and curating, and maybe. And then the further you get into it, you can let go of some of those things, and it's a little bit more liquid. It's like you can actually say at this point, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
I need a breath and a space, and it's not about you, but I just need those kinds of things. I don't know. Adam, you can't see. I can see people looking up. Seth is thinking.
I think I'm missing the metaphor. I guess because for me, there is a thing that comes to mind that's similar. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's not. Where you do build up rapport in a relationship, and there's certain like levels of relationship where like you wouldn't survive that. You wouldn't get through that together as a relationship. Like things you are too challenging or too difficult for what you're getting out of it. And then, but as you like build rapport, you build sort of like a budget, like a margin of error, where like we build up so much rapport and trust in a relationship, or like I don't know, balance, that you can borrow from past stuff to do something that's more challenging or more like difficult or uncomfortable, and then you can use that as an investment to build more capital in your relationship. It sort of seems crass to use like that as a metaphor for relationships, but
Yeah, we don't want to get too deep into it probably, but
yeah. But it's not really, I have a sense that's not really what you are, is that kind of what you're thinking? It's not really though.
I'm not thinking, to be clear, I'm not thinking about
Is
it
that
deeply.
in the
It just
doctrine
caught my
thesis
attention.
that
I'm trying to think about it.
Okay. I just wondering, I sensed you had like an intuitive connection to that resonated. Is that feel off the mark from what resonated with you, or is that sort of what you're thinking?
I don't know. Okay, so I think I might be thinking relationships don't quite work like that, but this is to me like the difference between apophatic and cataphatic. It's just as useful if I notice how it's not the same as it is to notice what is like that, because it shows you the negative image of that. And I don't mean negative in like a moral. I mean, apophatic is like the positive image on the page or the negative space behind it that both show the outline of the same thing, and they show two different ways of seeing the thing. So I don't know that relationships feel like they're liquid or not liquid. It seems like they're more like, I mean, words that are in the zeitgeist right now are like toxic or healthy, those kinds of things. A toxic relationship probably isn't just not available in terms of liquidity. It probably is never going to be available. There's probably never going to be a return on the investment there. But I don't know. I was just kind of asking the question. I'm not sure. I think it's an interesting it jumped out at me, or I heard it, and it stuck in my mind. What are you thinking, Cameron?
Nothing. No, I am thinking something. Yeah, I was kind of remembering when I was in high school. I had the mindset of giving, being, coming from Christian school for my whole educational life to a public school where I didn't know anybody, so to be a friend, and then also just I don't know, giving in a certain way. I didn't really hang out with people, so I wouldn't say I was giving a lot in those social terms, but exemplary actions in school and during activities around people. So being a leader by example kind of thing, and then also invest in, I don't know, good experiences. And I'm not sure. I do remember that was a time when I was giving too much of myself in one way or another, even if I was trying to find relationships or invest in some decent ones, because it was still a small school, but it was kind of a crazy town at the beginning. But I was thinking, I think there is a circumstance that it doesn't break the truth of what Julia is saying, but it kind of is like extending kindness and extending yourself, investing in something that's going to totally wither away. Or it's like, that's not the actual thing, but it's adjacent. My example was going to do like community service. So if I know in school, in junior high, we went to like food drives and stuff, and some people can be super kind, super grateful and receiving well, and others can be like kind of jerks. I I don't think I had very many experiences of those people, but if you're in a service situation, like extracurricular kind of giving of your time and energy just to serve the community, the service and the community that you have with the people you're engaging with or those you're working with, those are more of the investment in emotionally than those maybe necessarily that you're serving, unless you can connect with it on a personal level for a time, because you don't know these people. You honestly won't see these people very often if this is just like something you do every once in a while. And that may even be true of the organizers that you're working with. And so there could be some bad interactions or some like discomfort there, but it's coming from a wellspring of your life outside of that you have enough of that extra energy to give.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's a little foreshadowing of next chapter is she was like, what local community things can you get into to like build yourself up? She talks about in this chapter more of like setting that energy aside, protecting it, kind of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then next chapter, she kind of gets into like how can you calculatingly invest those into the things you want to invest in, like investing in a local business, investing in reading the local news, investing in community service. That's what she's talking about. So I think in those situations, it's not necessarily going to give you, it's not going to be the same as like going out with a friend and on a hike or something and talking back and forth and exchanging ideas where you're receiving the same kinds of energy, but it's more of I have this energy to give and I want to kind of, I don't know, it is giving, is there a better word for it, where it's kind of like planting seeds or
Sowing.
Yeah, it's not really. I'm thinking there's another word for give in a way that can be enjoyed or shared, but I think giving is just the word.
Connecting.
Yeah, it's
Shared.
it's an investment in them. It's not like you're gonna ever see or know what happens with it, but you're investing in them, and hopefully they can grow it
Right.
in some
Which
way.
is, I think, interestingly, this is like the inverted kingdom, and this is why this is like a metaphor I think that resonates from our background into like actual life. The inverted kingdom is sort of this idea that actually that is the best for you too, when you don't see the results. Because as the human condition seems to be such that when I have a sense of what will happen with what I'm doing, then it's really hard to not exercise some kind of control or adjust actions accordingly, all these kinds of things. But to be able to give and you don't know, and it's just for the other person and you don't know, is actually like the best for me too.
Yeah.
It is
There's no expectation tied to it, and there's no expectation for what they will have and what you will get, and what you get is not going to look like what you give. That's kind of what I'm saying about like the service part of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's all hidden. It's in multiple levels. I wonder if we could do a quick little survey. I just want to know if you would hold up a number, everybody, of how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you feel that you are at sort of balancing all of your personal resources, your creativity, your time, your energy. Okay, maybe not good. Good according to what? How pleased are you with your balance of your time and resources and energy and creativity? More instinctual. Don't overthink it too much.
When you say your balance, you mean taking into account external factors or your own stewardship of resources within your control?
is this in a percentage of time, or is this in like just overall?
At this moment,
sense?
how good do you feel about the balance? 5. I see a 5. 7. Adam.
Wait, 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
Oh,
That's how Adam got a 7.
like that's why I was confused.
He's over and above.
I got extra credit points.
7 or 8.
He's like
7 or 8. Brett has a wiggly
fucking
thumb.
killing it.
7 or 8.
So then I was gonna say 8 in the middle, but I'll actually say a little above.
5.
6.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5. That's my first instinct, but I think I'm a 7 right now. I'm getting 7, 8-ish.
Wiggle thumb.
My middle finger is my wiggler. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Interesting. So that you actually introduced the question kind of where I was going with that. I wanted to kind of know if we, on a quick inventory, what we think. And then if we do a little more reflection, because there are things that are in our control and there are things that aren't. And we've talked about this throughout the course of this experiment as we're working on things. Most of us in the group are not professional artists, which means you're doing the things you do either incorporating these concepts into your life and job where they are, or around them, or some combination of the two, some hybrid of the two, hopefully able to fit in some things like extra walks, the reflections, the tasks, these kinds of things. But really, it's not the same thing as if you were a professional artist. So my question is, I know one of the things that had led me to making a series of different choices in the last 10 years was this concept that really bothered me where, Seth, we've had some conversations about difficulty of coworkers lately. Mm-hmm. And you get that as a counselor too. And I definitely, both coworkers and counseling moments. And I thought, just doing a quick survey of my life, this person gets about anywhere, and it depends on the person, but I'm thinking of this person that is difficult for me to be around because of the nature of my commitments and my job. This person gets about 25 hours of my attention in the week. My child gets about
12.
5, 10 actual, like, of the same quality.
Yeah.
I'm interacting directly with you about the thing you want to interact around. Mm-hmm. And that to me was like, this is not worth it to me. I gotta figure this out. This is not okay. Yeah. I'm not taxing my life, like 85% of my life resources to this thing, to this relationship that is like a person I would not choose to be with in any other setting. Yeah. And it's very difficult and is making all the things I care about harder. And then not having, not only that, but it's like the first fruits. It gets the first 85% of my life, and at the end of the day, when I'm tired and exhausted and I've done all the things I'm supposed to do, then the people that I want to spend my time with get whatever is left in that time.
Yep.
So I don't know. How do you feel about that? How does that come into the equation? There's no question there, but there is kind of a question there. I just wonder, what are you thinking? How do you all think and feel about that sort of concept? And what do we do about it? Is there something to be done about it?
Sometimes there's something to be done about it, and sometimes there isn't for the time being.
Yeah.
For me, like, I think that's the foundational reason why I've made the decisions that I've made and sacrifices I've made in the last 8 or 10 years to do the business I'm doing with the people I'm doing it. Even though I've made like a fraction of what I could be making doing the same thing for someone else. But I've seen a lot of people do that. And I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money and spend a lot of their time working at jobs with people that they don't have a meaningful connection with, and they're spending all their life doing that instead of doing life stuff. I guess I never understood why that's a good trade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do have to make some money, and so sometimes you might not be, you might be allocating extra, investment to provide in a way that needs to happen. But I think it's not the ideal. So my feeling is that the energy in your life would be like a gentle water current moving you out of that position into one that's more suited for like your soul. And so I guess like that's really important to me and has been. It has to be pretty. Sometimes there are real sacrifices to be made to change, and so sometimes it takes an inciting incident or something that just brings a lot of clarity and adds vocabulary to you to be able to. For you to be able to actually make changes that are scary and real to do those changes. But, and then in addition to that, there are ones we opt into that. So I guess for me, I'll just say this. That's why I chose the job path that I have now, so that I could do more with people I want to do it with and do more of what I want to do. And I don't know if everybody can do that, but I did kind of choose everything that was going to go into my career with that in mind. not for some other objective.
As an 18-year-old going to college, or when are you starting to think about this?
Well,
I guess I'm digging in a little bit and wanting to know if there's catalysts, that sort of a thing,
Yeah.
because if you were always this way, and Adam and I have never been that way, how do we bridge? And,
I do not know.
How do we get...
For me, I guess let's see. I said the other day, I always had the idea that I would follow my interest. That was not like a question. So I was like, I'm interested in X, Y, and Z, and I think I can have the skill, propensity to be successful at X, Y, or Z, and also enjoy doing it. So that's one of my options. I'll do that. And there were a lot of things I never did. I would never take dance. I would never be like a dance major. I just wouldn't do that. Not a thing I could be good enough at to like love and do for a living, but like computers was one. So I found that I could delve into it and try different things and maybe make a living doing that or that or that. So I don't know. Like, I don't think it was ever, but I was always like, do I enjoy doing this or not? I was never going to go into tax law. I wasn't.
You were never going to be a piano major.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah.
Well, I'm translating it to my life,
Okay.
and yet I did it.
Yeah. So I don't know like how you bridge, but I think if that's, I guess it touches on an important point I think is pertinent here, which is that like if you think that you are going to do something for a reason that doesn't feed your soul, then you are writing checks that are going to bounce. You're not generous. You're not generous for writing checks that nobody can cash. I guess that's what I gotta say. So like you had to see it that way.
Yeah.
And then once you can like actually be creating in the world, then you are adding. Now you're really adding to people's lives, and you're really doing something that's worth doing. And so I think even though we're told it's selfish to do that, it's like if you can increase your output of good energy in the world by tenfold, that's way more generous than reducing your energy output to like a fraction of what you are and trying to like squeeze the lemon where it needs to. Not squeeze the lemon, that's peeing. Squeeze the energy drops into somebody else's mouth,
Lemon is not the metaphor is struggling. People don't typically want you to squeeze lemon into their mouth either. Yeah, I get it.
I pictured them like as baby bird people in your life who are like, feed me energy. I'm going to squeeze myself the last drop into your mouth instead of just like blast them in the face with a river of energy, And the river's flowing.
You're in the middle.
Blast them.
The metaphor.
Blast them with my. I don't know what your question was, and I don't know what my answer was. But that's
good.
what I have to say.
That's good. And I think, Adam, I wonder if I'm thinking something, or Seth, I don't know where you guys are on the spectrum, Cameron, but I'm thinking about this idea of, I've always resonated with, I see you, Adam, I see each of you as highly creative people. I would say you are artists. I think it's funny that you guys keep saying you're not artists. I would say you are artists, absolutely, in many domains. So I think it's interesting. But I know for me, I have resonated with that message. I have always wanted to do a thing that interests me. I've always, though, done it within the container that other people have constructed for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's something similar to you, Adam. I see you're going to teach martial arts within the police force. I don't know if that's some of you. If it were me, some of that would be me striving to the edge of the inside, beyond the edge of the inside, where I can be in the container that was assigned to me with the talents that were assigned to me. She said the specific talents or whatever they are that have been named for me, but also something that I can love, or I want to love. Something close enough to something that I'm interested in that would be good, which sounds almost like what you're saying about picking computer science, because it wasn't like your deepest life passion, but you enjoyed it enough. And so I'm trying to do that. But the problem was, if someone else, in my experience, if someone else built the container, it never is actually satisfying. You never, even the thing you can, it's so difficult to like get to a place to actually love and explore the thing you want.
Garment.
Yes.
That's for you, Steph.
It's old.
That's a metaphor I've always resonated with. I always say it in a conversation like this.
Wineskins.
No one ever is like, but I love it.
Yeah,
you ever had a shirt that doesn't fit you?
Yes.
You wear that shit around for some reason, and it's hard to say what's wrong with it. It just never fits. It just doesn't. You don't feel good in it. And I feel like that's sort of what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's never gonna feel like it
Right.
fits you. Like you fit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. but you're always trying to fit in the thing,
Yeah.
or be on the edge of the thing, or make the thing like if you can fill it in the right angles, you can almost make the shape you want to make,
Yeah.
or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
And you're always constantly
I'm in a
like this. When
season
you're not
where-
paying attention, you're just your ticks are all like,
Yeah,
get me out of this thing.
You were always doing that. I felt like at CCS,
yeah,
like there was the box that had been created as what a teacher is at CCS,
yeah,
Christian school, and all the other teachers fell in within that box. But like, you were always trying to push the edges of it, and still were fitting within it, following the rules, whatever. But like, I also think that, like, not just that it wasn't fitting you, like the people around you see that and they get frustrated. Like,
yeah,
I think of like the other
Some-
teachers that were there, like they'd see you doing those things and whatever, whether it was like jealousy
Resented.
or resentment or whatever, but just like because you were trying to push that and probably did push it further than it was created.
then it
to
was
be.
appropriate. Is that?
Yeah. Let's say that.
I don't think so.
No, but
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but like
To go with like, sorry to interrupt, but sorry, like that metaphor, it's like I kind of think of like, there's this meme where it's like this dude at a factory thing, and there's like
Maybe.
these things coming out, and then he's like, "Oh, we're doing this now." Like it's like the square factory, and he's like, "Oh, we're making circles now because the circle just came through." Anyways, all that to say is like, if you're pushing the box and it's becoming rectangle, and they're like, "That's not what we do here. We make boxes." And then you're like, "But this rectangle fits. It's just stretched a little bit. I'm just pushing."
Yeah.
it. That's what I felt like.
That
at
drives
CCS
me
as well.
nuts.
That your example actually is really helpful for me to flesh it out a little bit for myself, because I actually experienced until the very end when shit hit the fan and everything blew up.
yeah,
I actually experienced CCS as a really dynamic system that was flexible enough that it was plastic enough that the plasticity in it allowed me to do whatever I need to do. I think there is a reformer in me. I like to see how systems and
Oh,
things
yeah.
can get better. There's a
100%.
rebellious person. And you're right. I had peers who were like, you're not a rule-following rule follower.
yeah,
That's true. But that system was plastic enough that even though there's growing pains and things, it felt like a really place of freedom, and I felt supported in it.
yeah.
Other systems I've been in since then, I'm still looking for that, and they are not plastic enough. They cannot provide that. And it is just like,
Yeah.
it's almost worse than, it's not just an ill-fitted garment, it's like a straitjacket.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to break this thing, and I break it off of everyone else because it's not fitting you. I can see it doesn't fit you or you or you or you or anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to jump back to the catalyst, I do have a catalyst, I think, that has pushed me to that area, because I am literally in a time of my life when I have 3 or 4 shirts at a time, or whatever the thing is. So if you see me wearing the same things all the time, I want that. I crave that. And if there's something I don't love, I, at first opportunity, give it away.
Yeah.
And I only want to have things that I love. I don't need many of them, but I just want a few of them. And I want that in terms of furniture. I want that in terms of a lot of different things. That probably is directly mirroring what's happening in my interior scape as well. But I was thinking about the catalyst. I think I do have a catalyst that has pushed me towards that. I've had lots of opportunities to grow through things, like my counseling master's degree. It gave me a lot of stuff that I never intended to be a counselor. And yet I found myself in a place where I was in this. It gave me a whole new set of vocabulary, a new way of seeing things, a new set of skills, all these kinds of things. But probably the thing that has more pushed me to the place of like pursuing the thing that interests me, that I love the most, is something I don't wish for any of you. It's the same thing that helped me get to know my body in a different way, and to learn how to exercise and move in ways that were my ways, not just what was given to me as an athlete or as a coach or whatever I should do by society. And it was the catalyst of my cancer diagnosis. And it was literally this black and white choice. Sometimes the dualism actually is productive. And I think any good perennialist would say that's true. There's a place and appropriateness for dualism. And for me, it was, if you want to live, you have to do this other thing. It's no longer possible for you to sustain most things or suffer most things. If you want to live, you have to start cleaning up your life and your choices. And that was true for me moving, even if it's not a setting that would be appropriate. I'm in the middle of a professional development day and I have to get up and go to the back of the classroom. These kinds of things, I'm like, in my mind, it gave me permission to say, I want to live. I want to be in my children's lives. I want to be in the lives of other people I care about. I want to live. And so I have to do these things. And that gave me permission to start to get to know myself.
Yeah.
And I wonder, and then now I'm in a place where it's giving me permission. It's a chain of events. I can see it gave me permission to pursue this and this and this and this and this. And now I'm still finding things that I want to do in my life. And I'm halfway through it and I'm getting started with them. And it's not like a midlife crisis where I want to go out and buy a Ferrari. It's like, I want to do all these things. I want to see what's inside of me. I want to see what I can do. I'm so excited about the things that are possibilities of the dreams, the things that I couldn't do in the container. I need to form a new container, co-create a new container, all these kinds of things. So I don't know. I want everyone to have it, but I don't want you to have it with cancer.
I want everyone to have cancer, is what you're saying.
Just the right amount.
You get cancer, and I'm like the inverse of Oprah. I'm like the diabolical Oprah.
You need to pay a doctor to tell us all we have cancer so we can get our shit together.
Yeah.
And then he can say just kidding like in a year or something.
Perfect.
And then you all hate me because that's like
No, we'll hate you
horrible
for a
sense
second
of-
and we're like, but we owe you everything.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe that will work.
I think it's a perfect plan.
And then everyone will exercise the way they want to, and they will do the habits they want to. And if they need to quit relationships or jobs or contexts or whatever the things are that we need to quit, you will do them.
Yes. Speaking of that, I feel a little bit bad. It feels a little sad. I don't know if this is, like you said, with her language she uses, she's writerly about what she says, so she sometimes flourishes and stuff. But I felt like in this chapter she spoke in a way. Some disclaimers. She spoke in a way that seems disparaging of like romantic relationships or like romantic partners. And she didn't. I know she doesn't mean this. Like she was talking about the ones that are like bad and that are trying to be disparaged. But just thinking about a lot of people in those situations, she always uses this language like we. Like this is what's common for artists. Artists are like this. People take advantage. Artists are givers. Artists are relationships where people use them and manipulate them and blah blah blah. And of course, like to some degree, we do train other people subconsciously. We do manipulate to some degree. That's a very cynical way of. Some people do that intentionally. People who care about your mutual flourishing are not trying to manipulate you. Saying what they do is manipulation is not charitable and also kind of an ugly way of just seeing it. Anyway, so like just like her talking about this, it just made me sad because I feel like it's probably true for a lot of. I know it's true for a lot of people. It may be true for a lot of people in my life. I don't know, but I don't. So I think this might be how I ended up in the like job setting I'm in and the living setting I'm in and all the same thing. Like similarly, I don't think I would have ever ended up in a relationship where the other person was using me. Unless I was in like a really terrible place. Who's to say what would happen in certain circumstances, the butterfly effect or whatever. But I can't imagine being in a close relationship with someone that didn't care about my flourishing. Like that's the foundation of any intimate relationship, in my opinion, is the pursuit of mutual flourishing. Yeah. And I that would be like a non-starter. And I know that people think that they have that nailed down when they start the whole journey, and they find out maybe not, or people go, shit happens, and you don't know who you were, who they were, and all that stuff. So it's like I'm not trying to blame anybody, but tolerating that, I think of all the things I've done in my life that are difficult. If I didn't have like the relationship with Stephanie that I have, I don't think I could do them. Yeah. And so even just thinking about that, thinking about people trying to live their life with a person who in my marriage I share my life with completely. So I don't know what they're like, their dynamic is in their life with their companion or whatever, but having somebody who like doesn't I don't know. It's just it's terribly sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About. Generally wants good things for you and with you.
Yeah. With you. Yeah. For
like,
being with you.
Like pushes you towards
Is
that,
what wants is interesting. I think she's really saying it has to be more than want. It has to be is able to execute as well.
Yeah.
You can't just want it. Everyone, the addicts want you. Like
Yeah.
in The Bear, she wants her kids to have a wonderful experience
Yeah.
while she's destroying their lives. You know, and I'm just saying that because we were talking about that before we started. But
Yeah.
were you going to say more about that?
Yeah. Just want and actively doing things that are showing that to you, and you're like receiving that love and support. Yeah.
I didn't.
I was,
go
sorry.
go Adam. You go.
two things. One, I got to go in just a couple minutes, but also, I was just going to add, because I was thinking about this from the beginning of when we started talking to now, and I was kind of talking about, like, I'm okay kind of being in relationships that are more debt causing than giving, but I think it's because, like, kind of what Brett's saying there is, I feel like
Were you saying you're willing to be causing others, be taking more from others than giving?
No, giving more, like
Yeah.
their relationship pulls from my account. But I guess I feel like I'm just like incredibly wealthy because
Yeah.
I have those relationships. Like with Hunter, it's just like, yeah, if you didn't have that as like the person that you're with the most and like the most like connected with, yeah, I don't know how you could do it. I don't know how you can continue in life in any capacity, in any meaningful way. It'd be so difficult. But in beyond that, yeah. So I feel like I'm the Elon Musk of things to give. Like I got so much, and then also like
Only
all
of
of
things
you
to give.
guys. Like I have my like close friends and stuff, and so it's like I don't know. And everyone else, I guess I just keep at arm's length, and it's like I don't need you because what is a couple more dollars to a multi-trillionaire? You know?
Yeah.
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 But that's not really the habit of most multi-trillionaires. I think people tend to want more no matter how much they have. And grow and grow and grow their wealth. There's something in the human nature that's there. I've been kind of tracking that. Okay, I know we're going to need to wrap up or you can head out if you need to, Adam, too. So last thoughts, but I wanted to respond to one thing that you prompted me to think about, Brett. And I think I didn't necessarily hear this chapter mostly about that romantic relationship, actually. I thought I was going to hear mostly about that based on the title, and then I heard it mostly about like managers and the people that you're working with taking your creative time, and so I guess I was reading it a little bit differently, but I totally understand what you're saying, and I just felt, and you're saying you don't have any comprehension of what it's like to have that kind of relationship or those kinds of things, and I guess I'm thinking, because I'm always thinking about the extra person, if there's anyone who's ever listening to this who is in that situation, or just anyone listening to this, but there are plenty of them in the world.
Oh yeah.
Plenty of us in the world, I should say, who have had lots of dysfunctional relationships. And one of the ways I can know it is not just because when you are or have been in a pattern of dysfunctional relationships, I know it is very common as a counselor and as a person for the victim to feel ownership of that, or victim is a complicated word too, but for the person who has been in those patterns to feel like responsible and it's my fault, I got there. And to be able to encourage a person listening or thinking, contemplating this, to set that aside. It might not be that useful. At some point, it might be useful to do work where you're asking, what is my responsibility? What is my culpability? What are those things?
Yeah.
But some people are just born into it. And I was debating how much do I want to say personally, but I guess I'll just say, don't think our parents are ever probably likely to listen to any of these recordings. I was certainly born into the first dysfunctional relationship I had. And so the first relationship I had like that was with my mom, who from a very early time, before I even knew what relationship was emotionally parentalizing me, is the counseling term. I became sort of an emotional parent, and there's a lot of those things. So I didn't have access to, and it wasn't something I chose, or it wasn't something I could avoid. It was the way to be in the world with one of two people that was in my world at that time, before I had siblings or peers or any other thing. And so I think that's the way a lot of people come into it, is through dysfunctional situations or abusive situations or addicted,
Yeah.
individuals or all these people, we're struggling. Like sometimes you come to it and you didn't have access to something
Yeah.
else, even as an alternative.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Just to clarify, I didn't say that I can't comprehend how it happens. I just can't comprehend remaining in a long-term relationship with a partner knowing.
specifically,
I can't imagine
yeah.
how to do it. Not that people don't. I can't
Yeah.
imagine doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how to do it.
Right.
And also, I think I'll say too, what I said before, and I'll say again is I think that the mutual pursuit of mutual flourishing is a foundation of a life-giving relationship, and we don't always get that all the time. And I don't think we need to know what to do about that, but I think we should
Yeah.
still know it's true.
Yeah, and my response is not a rebuttal in any
no,
ways.
no.
It's
I
just
wanted to
acknowledgement
clarify.
for
I didn't want someone to feel like I
what a
couldn't.
person would
To
hear.
feel like I'm saying, I can't believe you're in that situation. That's
You're
Yeah, I'm
saying,
not saying that.
you're not saying I can't believe you are. You're saying I can't believe. I can't imagine it. I can't.
It seems
It's
terribly
it's foreign experience to me.
Yeah.
It seems horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not foreign experience to me by and large. Only the marriage relationship is something that I would.
Yeah.
I have been fortunate enough to avoid and can't imagine having to do it a different way or go through a different way personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Did anyone have anything that they're jumping in to say? If not, I feel like this is a place where if we had the rituals in place, that it would be a great place for a benediction. I want to ask Seth, youth pastor Seth, to give us a benediction. But really, thank you all for taking time to have the conversation and the reflection and to do the work and taking some space in your night and your week for this. And may it come back to you. May it be an investment in your life. May the conversations and the thoughts and be spawning other conversations and thoughts that are enriching your life. Yeah.
Blessings to you all as you leave. That's it.
So be it.
Peace be
Do
with
so.
This is over.
And also with you.
I'm with you.
Okay.